CTV's Jeremie Charron. He's joining us from Ottawa with more reaction. Good morning to you, Jeremie. So let's talk about the big takeaway for Canadians last night. We know for sure that Trump mentioned us when it came to hockey, and he spoke of us in fairly complimentary ways. But your takeaway from what we heard last night?
Yeah, good morning. Look, I think it was a long speech, 108 minutes, the longest State of the Union address ever. The president covered a range of topics. Talked a lot about what he believes he and his administration have accomplished so far. And really, this, was quite clear to me that this was a way for him to try and pitch himself ahead of the November midterms. He's looking to point to the things he's done. He was telling stories throughout the speech. He had people in the stands that were watching, people there that were, that went along with all of the different stories he had to tell. He often spoke directly about people that were there in attendance watching and listening. He also kind of set the tone pretty early on, Marcia, on what he was trying to achieve and the story he was trying to tell. Here's an early clip from the speech.
Our nation is back. Bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
That was kind of the theme that stuck out to me, and one that he kind of continued to try and qualify throughout the speech, Marcia, pointing to things his administration has done, talking about revenues generated from things like tariffs, talked about immigration, what he and his team has accomplished on immigration, talked about the economy repeatedly, talked about jobs, talked about a number of, a range of topics that he was trying to hammer home and point to in an effort, it would appear, to try and, qualify the work that he has done. But again, one of the big things that hit home, and the first thing you touched on was, what the impact was for Canada. The president was pretty clear in doubling down on his tariff policies and quite clearly addressed the fact that in spite of the recent ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court striking down his emergency tariffs, IEEPA tariffs, he's doubling down on those policies and continued to, celebrate what he believes are policies that are really helping the American people. Here's a clip from the president on tariffs.
As time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
Now, Marcia, he talked there about, the tariffs paid for by foreign countries. As we know, the tariffs are paid by the American people, of course. They're the ones imposing the tariff. It's being imposed as products are being imported into the country. That has been the argument from the other side, is that the tariffs are actually hurting the American people. So overall, a speech that covered a wide range of topics, Marcia, but pretty clear to me, a president that was looking to paint a picture of what he has accomplished so far, and that's ahead of course, the midterms in November.
All right. Thank you for that, Jeremie Charron.